You don't have to be crying or breaking down to be emotionally exhausted. Sometimes it shows up quietly, in the habits you don't even notice anymore. In this episode, we explore 10 subtle behaviors that often reveal emotional burnout, especially in people who appear high-functioning, thoughtful, and self-aware. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly rested? Not just asleep, but emotionally rested. Because emotional exhaustion doesn't always look like crying on the bathroom floor. Sometimes it looks like being calm, polite, functional. Sometimes it looks like you. In this video, we're talking about 10 quiet habits that often reveal emotional exhaustion, the kind that hides behind responsibility, self-awareness, and "I'm fine." And if more than one of these hits a little too close, this isn't a diagnosis, it's a mirror. You apologize for everything, even when nothing's your fault. Sorry for asking a question. Sorry for taking space. Sorry for existing slightly louder than expected. But here's the quiet truth. Excessive apologizing isn't politeness. It's a nervous system that's learned, if I make myself smaller, maybe I won't cause problems. When you're emotionally exhausted, your brain defaults to peacekeeping, not because you're weak, but because you're tired of tension. You make plans, and in the moment you mean them, but when the day arrives, the thought of going feels heavy. So you cancel, not because you don't care, but because even joy feels like effort. Emotional exhaustion doesn't kill your desire, it kills your capacity. And rest doesn't always look like staying in. Sometimes it looks like protecting what little energy you have left. Number 3. You feel irritated by small things, then feel guilty about it. The sound of someone chewing, a notification ping, one more quick question, and suddenly you're irritated, not explosively, quietly. Then comes the guilt. Why am I like this? I shouldn't be annoyed. But irritation is often just exhaustion with a short fuse. Your emotional buffer is gone, and instead of asking for rest, you blame yourself for reacting. And here's the part most people miss. Emotional exhaustion doesn't always show up in crisis. Sometimes it hides in competence. Number 4. You're productive, but feel strangely empty afterwards. You get things done. You reply to messages. You finish tasks. You keep moving. But when you stop, there's no satisfaction, just a hollow pause. This is what happens when productivity becomes survival. You're not working toward fulfillment, you're working to stay afloat. Emotional exhaustion turns doing well into emotional numbness. Number 5. You avoid deep conversations, even though you crave them. You want connection. But when the conversation gets close to something real, you change the subject. You joke. You intellectualize. Not because you don't care, but because you don't have the emotional bandwidth. Depth requires energy. And when you're exhausted, even vulnerability feels like work. Number 6. You feel disconnected from who you used to be. You think about the old you, the one who felt more curious, more expressive, more alive, and you wonder, what happened? But emotional exhaustion doesn't erase you. It just puts parts of you in storage. Not gone, just waiting for safety and rest. If these felt uncomfortably accurate, the last few are even quieter, and they're the ones people almost never talk about. Number 7. You feel responsible for other people's emotions. You scan the room. Who's uncomfortable? Who's quiet? Who needs fixing? You adjust yourself to keep the peace. But carrying emotional responsibility for everyone else leaves no room for your own feelings. Emotional exhaustion turns empathy into obligation, and eventually into resentment. Number 8. You numb out. Scrolling, sleeping, zoning out. You're not relaxing. You're escaping. Endless scrolling, extra naps, staring at the ceiling, not because you're lazy, but because your nervous system is overloaded. Numbing is the body's last defense when rest feels unreachable. Number 9. You feel guilty for needing rest. Even rest feels wrong. You sit down and immediately think of what you should be doing. You rest, but you don't recover because guilt keeps your body in alert mode. Emotional exhaustion teaches you that rest must be earned. It doesn't. Number 10. You keep telling yourself this is just how life is. This one is the quietest. You normalize the exhaustion. You tell yourself everyone feels like this. This is adulthood. This is just life. But chronic emotional depletion is not a personality trait. It's a signal. And ignoring it doesn't make you stronger. It just makes you disappear more slowly. If more than a few of these felt familiar, your system isn't broken. It's asking for something different. If this video felt a little too accurate, pause for a moment. Which habit did you recognize first? Or which one have you been pretending isn't a problem? You don't need to fix everything today. Awareness is already the beginning of relief. If you want, share this with someone who's been saying, "I'm fine," a little too often. And tell us in the comments which one hit you the hardest. Until next time, take a breath and find clarity with a cup of tea.